Hey everyone, this is just a quick heads up that the autumn sale for Snowball Analytics is here with a massive 30% discount. Make sure to jump in early to get the best deals and don't wait too long because it ends soon. Be sure to use my unique link below to grab your discount, and you can even renew your subscription at a lower price, so don't miss it. Hello and welcome back to the Geordie Pig Investor channel, where we dive deep into the world of dividend investing to help you build a portfolio that pays you. In today's video, I will be going through all the stocks I have bought and sold in the month of September. This was another action-packed month as I had lots of buys and sells within the portfolio. You might be surprised by some of my decisions, but I'm always intrigued to hear your thoughts on them, so please leave a comment with them down below. Anyways, let's get straight into it and start off by looking at the stocks I sold in the month of September. The first stock that I ended up selling in September is one that I've held for a little while now, and that is Louis Vuitton. I had a total of 4 shares that I sold, which was my entire position, where I sold out for an amount of £1,817.13. I had received £34.20 in dividends from the company and did pay £2.73 in fees, so overall we ended up with a realised loss of £92.31. I decided to sell my entire position in Louis Vuitton because while it's an incredible company with iconic brands, the stock was trading at a premium valuation that left very little margin for safety, especially with luxury demand showing signs of slowing in key markets like China. For me, it came down to opportunity cost. I'd rather reallocate that capital into areas where I see stronger growth potential and better value right now. This isn't me saying Louis Vuitton is a bad business, just that at today's price I don't see the same upside, and I want to keep my portfolio disciplined by focusing on the best opportunities available. The next stock that I sold in September was United Health Group, stock ticker UNH. I sold 2 shares for a total amount of £486.53, which meant I had a realised gain of £57.30. I only trimmed a small portion of my UNH position to lock in some of the strong gains I've had and free up some capital for other opportunities. United Health is still a very high quality business that I plan to hold long term, but after such a solid run up, it made sense to take a little profit off the table and reallocate that money into areas where I see better near-term growth potential. This way I'm balancing capturing gains while keeping exposure to the company I still believe in. And then the final stock that I actually also trimmed out of slightly was BAE Systems, where I sold 20 shares for an amount of £405, and this means I had an overall realised gain of plus £176.54. I also decided to trim my position in BAE Systems similar to what I did in UNH because this stock has rallied really hard this year. It's been a strong performer and I still like the long-term outlook for the company, but I wanted to be disciplined by locking in some profit and reallocating part of that capital into other areas of the market where I see more attractive opportunities right now. The stock's up over 60% year to date, and by doing this it means I'm securing gains while still keeping exposure to a business I believe in for the future. And now let's move on to the exciting part where I show you all the stocks I bought in September. Starting off with the JP Morgan Global Growth and Income, stock ticker JGGI, I bought 50 shares for a total amount of £308.70, and my new position size is now £9,331.20 as I own 1,620 shares. I also added 1.5 shares to my Vanguard S&P 500 ETF for an amount of £137.89, so my new position size in this one is now £10,652.34 as I own 112.5 shares. I then also added to my JP Morgan Nasdaq Equity Premium ETF, where I added 2 shares for an amount of £37.63. So this now pushes the position size over that £2,000 mark at £2,033.64, and my new position size is 105 shares. I also added 20 shares to my Income Shares Coinbase ETP for an amount of £61.28. meaning my new position size is £644.40 as I now own a nice round 200 shares. Next up for the buys in September was again this month Greggs. The stock price has just took such a plummet over these last couple of months, and I felt topping up my position was an absolute no-brainer at the price it was, so I added a further 20 shares for an amount of £309.65, and my new position size is now £4,097.50 as I own a total of 250 shares. And since they brought out their Q3 results, the share price has rocketed up around 6%, so that's fantastic to see, as it now puts me back into the green for the company after averaging down over these past few months. I then added 14 shares to my Bunzl position for an amount of £335.44, so I now have a position size of £1,185.20 as I own a total of 50 shares. Next up in the portfolio was Legal & General, and I added 50 shares for an amount of £118.64, so my new position size is £942.80 as I own 400 shares. I added to this one, which is actually the first time I've bought it in a while, because I felt the price was too high to justify over the past few months, but recently with it creeping back down towards that £2.35 mark, it's an amount where I'm comfortable to then start buying again, so that is exactly what I did. I think the risk reward looks much more attractive, and I'm hoping the stock continues to drop slightly over the next couple of months so I can really boost this position size up and hopefully get it to around 3 to 4% of my overall portfolio, which would be at around 1,000 shares. Another stock that had a further dip this month was Greencoat UK Wind, so I saw this as another opportunity to add to my position, so I bought 100 shares for an amount of £104.20, and my new position size is now £2,671.20 as I own 2,400 shares. I've always had a goal in mind to own 2,500 shares of this one, so if the price continues to stay around these levels, I'm hoping over the next month or two I'll be able to top it up with another 100 shares, and I'll be able to sit comfortably receiving a close to 10% yield from this company. And the final stock that I added to my portfolio this month was Warpaint London, where I bought 400 shares for an amount of £1,068.50, and my new position size is now £1,104.30 as I own 500 shares. Annoyingly, I bought more into this company just before the recent news came out that the company had been hiding specific numbers, and since then the stock price has plummeted. My main concern here isn't just the drop in price, but the issues within the business itself, which unfortunately has led me to decide it's best to cut my losses and move on from this one when the time is right. So over the next couple of months, you'll probably see me slowly start to sell out of this business, even though I've only just recently added it, as when a company hides information from the public, it breaks my trust with that company, and it's a massive red flag, so I just don't feel like I'm comfortable moving forward having this one in my portfolio. So as you can see, September was a really busy month for me. I invested close to £2,500 while also selling just over £2,700 worth of stocks. Most of the cash I put to work came directly from my own contributions, alongside that big sale of Louis Vuitton and the 2 smaller sales I made, and a portion did actually come from reinvesting dividends I received during the month. If you'd like to know which stocks paid me dividends in September, I've already uploaded a video on that, so be sure to check it out on my channel. The money I did receive from Louis Vuitton was right at the end of September, so you can look forward to seeing how I deploy the money in October's buys and sells video. Looking ahead, my priority is to strengthen and build on my current positions while keeping sales to a minimum. That said, over the past few months, I've added new stocks and trim positions where my conviction has faded. I'm comfortable making these adjustments when they serve the long-term benefit. I know I have a long time horizon within the markets, and I want to capitalize on my opportunities as they arise. With that in mind, this is a good time to outline my key objectives for 2025 and see how I'm getting on so far. In this part of the video, I want to share some key points about my investing strategy moving forward. It's a pretty simple approach, but I find it really useful to write down my goals and remind myself of them every single month. And of course, goals can change over time, so it's always worth checking in to make sure you're still happy with what you originally set out to do. The first point for me is to consistently invest money every payday, essentially paying myself first by putting cash straight into my ISA. This way I get used to not even seeing the money as spendable. Just like my mortgage or water bill, I treat my ISA contribution as a fixed, non-negotiable payment. That mindset turns investing into a healthy habit and keeps me disciplined month after month. The next part of my strategy is to keep making consistent monthly contributions into my two core ETFs, VUSA and JGGI. Over time, my goal is to build these up to around 40% of my overall portfolio, and at the moment they're sitting at just over 36%, which I'm already really pleased with. I've set this one out as one of my main objectives for 2025 because it helps me stay focused on the bigger picture. No matter what's going on in the markets or in the world, I want to keep steadily adding to either of these positions and block out the noise, which again I did do this month, so I'm very happy to see. One of my biggest goals over the past 6 months was to trim my portfolio to a maximum of 25 stocks and ETFs. After some careful considerations and reevaluations, I'm happy to say I've now achieved that, with my portfolio sitting at 22 holdings. This feels like a big milestone for me because it's so easy to get carried away adding new positions, and while it might seem like a good idea at the time, in the long run it can become messy and difficult to manage properly. Now I feel my portfolio has a much clearer structure, and every stock and ETF I hold has a defined purpose and objective behind it. Another key goal is to keep adding to my growth and income stocks whenever I see attractive buying opportunities. Now that my portfolio is a size I feel comfortable managing, it's much easier to stay on top of every position. This means that if I believe a stock is undervalued and I have the capital available, I can confidently strengthen that holding. My approach is always to buy high quality companies at a discount where possible, as shown in today's video, where I saw real value in Bunzl, Legal & General and Greencoat UK Wind, and added heavy to a few of my positions. And finally, I want to continue maintaining a healthy balance between growth and income stocks. At the moment, my portfolio offers a 5.2% dividend yield with a 5-year dividend growth rate of 7.3%, both of which are right in line with my targets. This is something I'll keep tracking closely to make sure it stays within my preferred range, and it also helps me hold myself accountable as I build for the long term. And that wraps up this month's buys and sells. If you found any value in this breakdown, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more investing insights every single month. Drop a comment if you made any interesting moves yourself this month. I'd love to hear what you've been buying and selling. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep compounding and stay patient in the market because your future self will thank you. For now, this is the Geordie Pig Investor, over and out.